All right, here we are continuing in Lucid Word. We're still in the second Shahada. And we've reached where the author says, Rahimahullah, believing in what the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us about also includes Al-Jannah, paradise. So Al-Jannah very literally means the garden, capital G. And it's called Al-Jannah because it's full of gardens. It's like one big garden, which is a place Allah has prepared, meaning it's presently existing. Allah has prepared it to bestow the believers with enjoyment, yani as a reward. It now exists based on the evidence. The religious evidence proves that it is presently existing. And I think we mentioned in some previous lessons, maybe last time, if someone denies that it now exists, we're not going to deem him as a kafir because of his misinterpretation of the texts in such a way that it doesn't demand of us to deem him as a kafir, and it will remain forever, and whoever denies that is definitely a kafir. These two don't have the same judgment. Denying that it presently exists and denying that it shall remain forever, those two don't have the same judgment. As for its everlasting existence, the ayat about that in the Quran are so explicit and numerous too. Explicit and numerous. One may are numerous. If they are just numerous only, then being numerous is an indication that it should be taken apparently. But when it comes to the everlastingness of paradise and hellfire, it's not only numerous but explicit, because Allah says, Khalidina fiha, they will be therein forever. So the ayah is about the people of paradise, that they will be in it forever. If they will be in it forever, then it means paradise will remain forever. If they will be in it forever, then it means paradise will remain forever. And other verses. As for that it now exists, what are the proofs for that? Such as the story of Adam alayhi salatu wassalam. Allah says, وَقُلْنَا يَا آدَمُ اسْكُنْ أَنْتَ وَزَوْجُكَ الْجَنَّةِ. We said, O Adam, live you and your wife, you and your spouse, in the garden. So how that's not explicit? Because according to the people who are wrong about this, the garden here is a garden on earth. The garden in this ayah is a garden on earth. Where's means paradise, according to them. So we're going to say to them, the story of Adam. Don't you know Adam was created in paradise? So apparently they don't know that. And he was living in paradise, and he and his wife were there, and they were covered with light. And then when they ate from the fruit or from the tree that they were forbidden from, that light went out, and then their private parts became exposed, and then they started covering themselves with the leaves of Al-Jannah, the garden. So for those people, this all means not paradise. And in their minds, like, what's rational reason for this denial? Besides going through the trouble of re-explaining what came about paradise, what's the rational idea for them? They said, well, there's no one there yet. Doesn't make sense. Why there's going to be a paradise and there's no one there? Why there's going to be a hell and there's no one there? So they deny the present existence of paradise and hell. And they don't deny that it will come into existence and remain forever. If they deny its existence altogether, that's blasphemy. And if they deny its everlastingness, that's blasphemy. But what they deny is its present existence and not that it shall exist and then stay forever. And what do we know about paradise? MashaAllah, there's a lot of information about paradise from the Quran and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So paradise is wider than hell, thousands of times wider than hell. It has a wall and it has 8 gates or entrances. There's angels at those entrances. And it has over it a canopy, which is the Arsh, that is wider than it itself. The Arsh is wider than paradise itself. And in there, there's light that's different from, more powerful than the light of this earth, more powerful than the light of the sun. The light of paradise is so strong that it doesn't have a sun. It doesn't need a sun or a moon. And there is no darkness in there, but that doesn't mean there aren't shadows in there. There are shadows in there. Yeah, shade. There's shade in there. And there are buildings in there, fruits, rivers, trees, gardens in which everything is gold, yani golden gardens, silver gardens, and the people in there, they have new bodies, yani hairless except for their eyelashes, their eyebrows, and the hair of their heads. And they don't urinate or defecate, but rather they sweat, and their sweat is like musk. And they have spouses. Subhanallah, so many things. Really, we could fill up the whole time if we wanted to describe paradise. Fruits in there, if you pluck a fruit, another one will grow back immediately. If you want, if you want to eat some of that fruit, the tree will bend for you, or will just come to your mouth, for example. And you can do anything you want to do in there. And the people will be in paradise, and they will gather, they meet together, and they reminisce about the world, about the dunya, and but nothing bad crosses their minds. Like they don't have bad feelings, they don't have inclination to sin, they don't hate each other, they don't have grudges against each other. And a man would have many wives. None of them are hating each other. No one's bothered with anyone. People who were enemies, Muslims who were enemies in this life, Allah will take away their enmity. They have new bodies, much taller, much taller. Subhanallah. If you understand how tall they are, you look in this world now, the way we are living, it's like, for me, it's like Legos. Everything's like all the houses and buildings and cars. Cars are like Hot Wheels, those little car toys. All these cars we're driving in, they're like Hot Wheels. We're like action figures here. We're small. Subhanallah. and so many more things. MashaAllah. Every time I want to now move on, something comes to my mind to say. So maybe another time, inshallah, we could go into some things about paradise.